Now that Inchon is finally over and we're moving on to the next arc, I think there's a lot to address when it comes to Inchon itself, which I'm gonna talk about on multiple videos, but let's talk about the war arc and what that might entail. Now I think it's pretty obvious that this is in reference to Kite, but the fact that the arc seems to be called War Begins, along with the fact that Inchon didn't exactly end the way you'd think it would have, I don't think this is in reference to the war against Kite actually starting now, because first of all, the war isn't just gonna start telepathically between both sides. There has to be something from one side, which is probably gonna be Kite's side, that triggers the other side's response, and thus the war would actually start, which in our case would be Kite's hunt, which isn't Kite being hunted by anyone, but rather Kite headhunting the people he and James are planning to eliminate. So I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Reporter Kim was no longer around by the end of this arc. And you also have to remember, the whole reason the main cast went to Inchon in the first place was to build an alliance with one of the kings, the stronger faction between both half-assed kings, in order to help against Kite. Now that UJ is dead and the Dark Society is virtually eradicated, it makes more sense that Jaegyeon's role was completely and utterly overshadowed by UJ and Inchon, because Inchon was likely not entirely meant to be his arc, and it's in this war that Jaegyeon may finally get his moment to shine, which is through paying everyone that helped him back by aiding us in this war against Kite. It does beg the question though, what exactly is the whole situation between James and Jaegyeon regarding Inchon, and what leverage does James have over the area that put Jaegyeon in such an obedient position under him?